Hello guys and welcome to MotorBeam. Both this motorcycle right next to me are the Gixxer and the Pulsar 160cc, the perfect competitors. Let's find out which one to pick because both have been updated with a few changes here and there and both make it worth the while. So let's go. For the Gixxer, the design changes are not as much. As you can see, the design is exactly the same as it was before, but then the new color options with triple color, black, orange and grey with this color does look nice. Plus, it has now become a ride connect machine because you can get an updated meter over here which you can connect with your phone and get navigation data. So that is an update which has come into place. Suspension setup, engine, chassis, everything is exactly the same, although it is E20 compliant now. But there is a subtle change that only a few can notice, that the tip of the exhaust is now been updated and looks a little more aggressive. Everything else on this motorcycle has been exactly the same as it was with the last update, and it does look quite nice. But as we talk about the NS160, some have even said that this one looks like the NS200 because of the USD forks. The design, although, is exactly the same as it was before, so the NS has not made much difference. But the color option, the white does look bright and nice, but if we compare, the Gixxer takes away the brownie points for the attractiveness. In the review, मैंने mention किया था, if you remember, that headlight of the Pulsar is missing out on LEDs because it does not get LED headlight even now. You get an LED projector setup on the N and the P150. Here, an update, it would have been better. However, the headlight on the Gixxer is a much brighter unit, plus it gets better high beam and the overall fit finish on the Gixxer feels a lot more nicer. However, if you are riding in the rain or if you are riding in foggy condition, only then the halogen bulb of the Pulsar will be handy. Both the motorcycles still miss out on LED indicators, which is crucial at this time. Yaar, Bajaj, Suzuki, suno, kuch to suno. The design of the cluster is still old school for the Pulsar, but then again you get a lot more information in the digital section. As I scroll through it, you get the odo right below. If you press through it, you get the trip meter, plus for every trip you get the average mileage too, and on the top you get distance to empty as well. So that is something which has been updated and it's pretty nice, yeah. However, if you look at the cluster of the Gixxer, it is a lot more better because you get the complete digital cluster, complete modern finish right over here. But yeah, people love that flowing tacho, so will love the meter of the Pulsar. However, come back to it. Here you find an empty section on the left because on the meter you get connectivity details and you can get direction information on the left side once you connect your phone. If nothing is done, it stays empty and hence it does feel out of place. Although you get good amount of information, and if you just scroll through it, you can get the trip meters, the average mileage, kilometers per liter. You do not get distance to empty on this, and that is the only missing part. The seat height of the Gixxer is about 795mm and the same for the NS160 is close to 805mm. So yes, it is 10mm taller, and similarly it has 10mm of more ground clearance. Let's see the comfort on both the motorcycles. I'll hop onto the Gixxer. And this is a very comfortable place to be on. For a person of my height, I can actually lock my legs over here. The foot peg is exactly center set. The riding posture is completely upright. I get a good view of what's ahead, and the seat, it's soft yet has a hard cushion in between so that you don't sunk in. This is a very comfortable place to be on, so I can actually go the distance with just a 150cc motorcycle. But what about a pillion? I have Vivek with me. Vivek, aachao. He'll hop on to the rear seat. How does it feel?
It's quite comfortable.
Nice?
Yes.
Do you give thumbs up or thumbs down?
A thumbs up.
Okay. So pillion is also decently comfortable. Do you have space?
Quite good enough.
Okay. So let's switch to the other motorcycle. So the Gixxer gets a thumbs up for the rider as well as the pillion. And for the Pulsar, let's see how is it for the pillion. In comparison, aajao.
This is a bit hard.
The seat is a bit harder, yes.
A bit small than Gixxer if compared.
So the seat is a little bit harder and the space a little bit less. Although the seat is thinner, not wider. So that is the space we are talking about. You can get off. Thank you. And as I talk about the rider comfort, there is something that bothers me a little. As soon as I put my leg over here, this panel has an edge. So if I keep my leg down, it hurts my inner thigh. So that is something that is a little bit bothersome. However, because of the clip-on setup and the foot peg being a little more closer to me, I feel a lot more sportier on this. So if I want to push the motorcycle, I'll push the Gixxer, but I'll have more fun on this because of the chassis setup being a perimeter frame over here. So Vivek is here to mention one more thing which I didn't notice. Go for it.
So then if we see at the tail section,
Yeah.
the Gixxer has a longer tail. When you get down,
Yeah.
your foot obstructs on the tail. Whereas if you compare to the NS,
it's not there.
it's not there. You get down quite easily.
Yeah, so it's a complete tail tidy right over here.
Yeah.
और यहाँ पे proper tail दिया हुआ है. So yeah, design wise there's a change, but pillion के लिए difficulties.
difficult है.
So it's clear that if you're looking for sportiness all over the motorcycle, it is the Pulsar. However, the Gixxer, although it looks sporty, it is one of the sportiest motorcycles here, but there is a good amount of comfort that is offered on the Gixxer. There's one more thing, that both the motorcycle get the exact same 12-liter fuel tank, but then again the Gixxer returns a little bit better, close to 45-48 kilometers per liter, and on our test I've been getting close to 44 easily. However, on the Pulsar, the best number that I've been able to achieve is somewhere close to 41-42, because yes, because the motorcycle is sporty and you are happy to open throttle, and that is what we are going to talk about next. As I move the motorcycle, as I move the Pulsar back to its position for the displacement that we are going to talk about, I can actually feel the weight to be a little higher as compared to the Gixxer, and it is a little bit heavy because the Pulsar weighs close to 152 kgs, while the same for the Gixxer is just 141. 10 kgs, actually 11 kgs of weight difference does come in quite a bit. If we compare the outright acceleration or outright performance from the motorcycles, the Pulsar does it way better because it gets close to 17 bhp of power, while the same for the Gixxer is just close to 13.5. Similarly, Gixxer produces 13.5 Nm, while the Pulsar produces a little more, close to 14 Nm of torque. So the Pulsar has an oomph of performance, but the performance is closer to the top end. In the low end and the mid range, both the motorcycle perform equally. Top end is where the Gixxer loses out a little. Both the motorcycles do get a 5-speed gearbox, but the gear shifts on the Pulsar are a lot more smoother, and they come in very handy if you are riding on a track or riding through traffic, if you are doing continuous changes. The same on the Gixxer is way too hard. But you know, let's hear the exhaust note first and let's judge them on how they sound. This is the Gixxer's exhaust note. Not bad for a Suzuki. Let's hear the Pulsars. A little bit louder, and I'll definitely say that the Pulsar sounds a little bit better. With the updated USD forks, the Pulsar is the only motorcycle in its segment to get upside down forks. Yes, you guys will tell me that MT-15 also gets it, but the price difference is way too much. Almost 50,000, 60,000 rupees ka price difference is there, which is just unimaginable. So in this segment, the Pulsar takes it ahead for the suspension setup. However, the overall balance of the ride and handling with comfort is a little bit better on the Gixxer because it leans in very nicely. The rear, you get a 140 section tire which grips really well. So overall, the Gixxer feels home to ride it in the city. If you want to go on the track, you just have to adjust the rear suspension on the Pulsar NS 160 because currently for city conditions it's kept really soft. Once you harden it up, tip it into corners, and you'll enjoy the NS 160 a lot more. For the pillion also, there is a good barbecue grill, which is basically a sari card, which is a big unit. However, on the NS 160, there's a bit more comfort as the grill over here is a little bit smaller, but you get a proper ladies footrest coming onto the side. That is a good touch. With the Pulsar, you get an oil cooler as well. However, the same on the Gixxer is an air cool unit. Plus, there's an addition. You get a kick as well on the Pulsar. There is one more additional factor for the Pulsar that takes it up a notch, and that is nothing else but the dual channel ABS setup. Because of that, the braking distance improves a lot more, while the same for the Gixxer is just single channel unit, but the brake feedback, which I'll say honestly, is a lot more better and a lot more crisper on the Gixxer. So both have its own advantages, and the price difference between both of them is not more than 4,000 rupees, the Gixxer being a little bit costlier. So at the end of the day, if you're looking for either of the two motorcycles or any of the two sporty, comfortable commuter motorcycles in the 160cc category, these two are very good options with a ton of features. At the end of the day, you pay a premium for the features, but it's actually worth it. So if you're picking between either of them, there is definitely some confusion, and I hope I have reduced a bit. If not, let me know in the comment section below. I'll help you out even more. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.